A few episodes ago, I mentioned that I want to try Dragoons in solo PvP, and I even went to Farah to acquire salvage for the rigs that are required for PvP feats. So you may be wondering, well, where is the footage with Dragoon? Um, I actually have been testing pretty extensively the overprop Dragoon feat. It looked quite decent on paper, and I really have been trying to make it work. But my current conclusion is that it does not work. So there is a reason why I haven't really seen overprop dragoons in PvP. The biggest problem is that DPS is just horrendously bad, and with this poor DPS, the control doesn't really matter because it just takes too long to apply newts to a newt to full effect, and is very difficult naturally for all 10 destroyers to keep range, to keep your target tackled. The reason why 10 coercers and 10 algases work is because we have a lot of DPS. And if you're kiting, when you still apply a lot of DPS, and your opponent kind of has to either commit or disengage immediately because he just does not have much time. And if you fight up close, when again you just have so much DPS thanks to either guns on the Algas or higher damage ammo in case of Coercer. But again, you can just win DPS race up close, and you don't really need full control from your tournament. You just need it to minimize transversal. And in case of Dragoon, it just doesn't work, both in position and out of position. I will show you only one fight without going into that much detail. This is against Rail Comet out of position. Rail Comet is 7.5 kilometers, which is okay. No, it's normal for a Rail Comet. So initially I click approach because I know that control of the Comet, of a typical Scrum kiting Comet, and my Dragoon is about the same. Probably if I go full speed, I will have very, very slightly higher control by like 100 meters per second probably. But since I'm out of position, it's not gonna matter. I'm not going to burn away from him to push him into using a lower DPS uh, ammo. So the first action from me is just to approach, to try to play based on my newt. He is currently within range of my newt, but it's pretty obvious that I'm just not gonna survive long enough to make this newt work. The newt is about 40 units of cap per cycle because I lose something because of a fall off range is like 7.5 kilometers. The optimal range is 7.5 kilometers for the Tech 1 newt. So 45 is the default, and then I lose a couple of units of neutralizing efficiency due to being in a fall off. And to newt out a comet in this situation, I need something like 12 or 13 cycles of newt. And 12 or 13 cycles of newt is more than a minute. And already it's obvious that I'm not gonna survive for a minute in this situation. So what I do next is that I align out and just to see if he makes a mistake, maybe he will click like keep at range 9, something like this, and maybe he will forget to hit his web, and in this case I actually will be able to gain some ground. And he actually makes a mistake. You can see that he dropped his tackle, and I think it's because he forgot to hit it. Tech 2 scrum is 11 kilometers, so since he dropped it, it must be just lack of hit. And he actually spent a fair bit of time, it was like 12 seconds, I think, without noticing his mistake. I can warp out, but I decided just to see what's going on, how the end result is going to look. I know that I'm losing this fight and I can warp out, but it's kind of makes no sense because I'm flying a Dragoon that's worth like a couple of million. And I think here he realizes his mistake, he turns around and actually scrums me again. Yeah, right here. But you can see that I didn't even scratch his main tank, which is the hull. And the Comet will have like 60 or 70% of effective hit points in hull. So he is essentially just now starts to take damage in his main tank, and I'm already dead. So the conclusion is that Tenement Dragoon just doesn't work, I feel like. Even on a fully skilled character, I don't think it's gonna work very well. My current impression is that if you want to have good results in a Dragoon, you have to rely on newts. This is like your win condition. And if you have to rely on newts, then you only really have one possible fit with triple newts in the high and then cap booster in the middle. I will try this fit later on, but it's the problem with this fit is that it's very polarizing. Uh, it kind of hard counters a certain range of ships, and then it just gets killed by a different range of ships. And the first group of ships just not gonna fight you very often. So, but I will check it anyways. It's interesting because I haven't used Dragoon that much so far in PvP. But yeah, 10 man Dragoon is going in the bin, unfortunately. Okay, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next videos.